today is Tuesday, August 20th. And my dad's gonna work on the merger. And then 3 days ago, I just got this thing, a 4-wheeler, a little one. I'm driving. So I'm gonna give the camera to my dad.
So hey everyone, so it sounded like Tucker did the intro already, so I don't got to do that. It's like he said, we're working on the merger. Not really working on it, but just kind of gonna try something out. So I mentioned it in another video, how we pick hay up when we merge hay. We pick up 2 rows, one on each side. Then a lot of the times we'll have both throw it to the middle, so I got all the hay right here. So why I do that is I feel like it, when we start merging, we usually want the hay to dry down quicker so we can start a little quicker. So we like to get that hay off the ground and move it. Where I know most guys that got mergers can chop a lot more. And they'll leave them all down and pick up 2 or 3 rows and throw it off to the side onto another row. And this thing can pick up 2 and it'll reach over and throw it onto the 3rd row, but then that row that it's throwing it on top of, that hay doesn't move and that bottom stays a lot wetter. And when I do that sometimes after I merge for a while, and I know we're to a point where the hay will probably dry decent enough on itself and we can kind of keep up a little better. Then I'll put 3 rows together, but for a majority of it, we put 2 into 1. But this thing, the aprons, they spin pretty fast, and it throws that hay almost too close together. It's coming from both ways. And it just almost interlocks like a deck of cards almost. It really has a real small windrow. It doesn't dry out the greatest from what I've noticed so far. Before with that rake, this is kind of where I got the idea from. That rake it throws it tight too, but there's a divider there that keeps the 2 rows separate. So I'm going to try to put something in here that'll do kind of the same thing. So I actually found a piece of plywood, I think, is what I'm going to use for now. Too tight? Stuck? Hey. Hang on. Hang on there. You make it? So yeah, as you saw too, he got a 4-wheeler. We didn't really get one, he's borrowing one. So our neighbors, same neighbors we're borrowing that little kid snowmobile from too. They had a young boy, and now he's outgrown all this stuff. He's gotten a little bigger, he's moved on to some big boy toys. So we are currently borrowing it now until their grandkids get old enough to use it, which will be a year or 2. So hopefully our kids don't wreck it. Until then, we keep them in decent shape, and we'll give them back. So he probably said that it's his, but it's not really his. So it's a real good deal for us. We don't have to buy a 4-wheeler, a snowmobile. We just borrow it and give it back. We did buy the plastic, the blue. That was kind of sun faded and cracking all over, so we did buy a new thing for that. It's kind of our payment for using it, I guess. Hopefully we'll probably end up having to buy it again, because I'm sure he's going to hit something and crack it. But so yeah, he's got a 4-wheeler. He literally hasn't gotten off it since we got it 2 days ago. Anyways, he's actually doing a pretty good job, pretty safe on it for now. Just trying to see where he's at. So he's got to learn sooner or later. I'm sure you'll run into stuff and roll it, and that's how you learn. So anyways, with the merger, so I got a piece of plywood, and we're gonna kind of bolt the chain to it with a clip. Is what I'm thinking, and we'll find a couple spots. I think I was gonna go through here maybe, then back there somewhere, loop the chain around, have it hang down to wherever, and then just have that board, piece of plywood with that chain on it. I can clip it to there, because I do, like I said, I do run this center down quite a bit, so I want it to be easy to unhook. And I'll kind of think of a place maybe to hang it from here, or just set it off to the side. But I want to be able to take it off and on. It can stay on most of the time, because like this is as high up as it goes, and when I run the 2, this is where it'll be. And when like you're transporting it down the road, this is how it stays. So we're gonna try to rig this up, see if it'll work. So yeah, this week we're not making hay or nothing yet. Next week, Dad said we're gonna try to get hay done. That'll be about, today's the 20th, so the 26th will be next Monday. So that'd be about right. We got a lot of rain here this last week, so hay is looking really good. There's gonna be a lot of hay to chop, so we're sitting really good. So we'll get that done, and then it'll be silage time after that, but that's got quite a ways to go. It'll be a few weeks after hay, I'm guessing. So that's about all I got for now. And the Billy Goat update, we did win our first round of state on Saturday against Webster. We had Chewy pitched a complete game. He was lights out. The brother-in-law, Ben, he had a double, 3-run home run, 5 RBIs total. He was kind of the big playmaker of the game. Had some good defensive plays. We turned 2 or 3 double plays. Chewy picked a guy off first. Just a really fun game. That was a pretty late night too. We didn't get back till about 1 o'clock. So we got another weekend of baseball coming up for sure. If we win this weekend, then we got the Labor Day weekend will be the last final weekend. So baseball season's getting down there. Then it's hunting season though, so always got something to look forward to. Alright, enough of that. Let's get to work. Oh, there. see what this does. All right, well, nothing super fancy or pretty, but hopefully it gets the job done. Like I said, I'm not totally sure if it's gonna work or not. Just wondering how much, you know, you got hay coming from both sides. It should kind of stay there, but if you get a spot where there's more hay pushing it, it's gonna swing and kind of catch the other hay on the other side and screw something up. I don't know. I guess we'll find out next week. So I don't know, one thing I didn't really like is, so if you look here, it doesn't, the board doesn't start kind of at the front of the belt or the apron, but majority of the hay gets thrown towards the back. If I could have moved this up a bit, I would, but there's nowhere else really to hook on up here. It's all solid, there's no holes to get around. That was really my best option. As I could have, if I had a longer board, it would be better, but that's just how long that board was. And it's just something I had laying around, so that's what we're using. And I thought maybe I could start the hole back farther so that it would stick out farther, but I think with only being 2 chains and with that one being so far back, it would just swing back farther anyways and wouldn't. Maybe it would have worked, I don't know. I think this will work. Just trying to think in my head how that would, I think either way it's gonna it's gonna sit in the most middle spot. Unless that chain was shorter and that one was longer, maybe it would have swung a little farther forward, but I don't know, I think this is gonna work. Because as you're going too, you're moving as it's throwing it. It's like really, as the hay's coming this way, this is moving forward, and I think this is gonna work just fine the way it is. So I do got extra slack here. Both those chains are the same length, so if I need to adjust it higher or lower, it should be pretty simple. Now one thing I was worried about, or this chain is, this pivots where that grease zerk is there, but where it's at, it shouldn't pinch on anything and it should be fine. And I'm sure it's a matter of time until someone doesn't realize it's on and sets the center down and smashes this anyways. But this thing is costing me about $10 worth of chain, so not out too much if it does get wrecked, as long as it doesn't wreck nothing on the machine. So yeah, we're gonna tighten up them bolts on there. Alright, so I think it's good as it's gonna be for now until we try her out. So we're gonna fold her back up, try her out next week hopefully. So when you see an auger that looks like that, it's never a good sign. So we were trying to, a couple weeks ago we took a bunch of corn out of the bin to grind it, and then we filled up that bag. There's still about 2,000 bushels left. We had a neighbor, Scott, who was looking for some corn. So he came over with his tractor and wagons. We're gonna take the rest out and sell it to him. Turned the auger on, breaker tripped right away. So this auger was pumped full of corn, so we had to take the cover off, spin it, get a bunch of that weight off, start it back up. It'd run, okay, put the corn back in it, open up the slide, tripped it right away again. And then we got it emptied out again. We ran it empty, and it ran fine for a little bit. Hit the reset tripped on it. So then we realized we got bigger issues. So we ended up, Scott's uncle come over. He's a pretty smart guy. He tested all the capacitors. They were all good. We ended up taking the belts off the motor, and the shaft on that motor wiggles, and actually we restarted it without the belts on it. Rumbled pretty bad. So there's a bearing out. Bearings are out for sure. And hopefully nothing else is too major on there. So not the best start to the day. So Dad, he's taking that motor up to Sunrise. Hopefully they can get at it right away and figure out what's wrong. Get that back together so we can get this corn out. But right now, Dave needs a hand making some straw bales, so I'm gonna head over there, and he helps us out quite a bit making hay. So we're gonna go make some bales for him.
Tucker into it.
No.
You got sandburs?
No, not here. Never did on this side of the river. Should be pretty close to even, so I guess we can give it a try. See what gate they get.
Why don't you drive for a little bit then, and I'll show Travis how to stack the first and get the load started here.
Huh? Oh, this one's so simple.
So keep going same way all the way down?
Yeah.
Roll them or higher yet, or is that high?
Oh, yeah. When you get to put the next row on, don't do the middle one. Bring your bales in this way and this way. Just go with two of them
Okay.
up there.
Kind of almost touch.
Yeah, yeah. Make them touch. That way they'll lock the sides in.
You right?
Yeah.
hay wagon or straw wagon I've ever stacked. We've attempted it a couple times, but the baler never worked for us, but Dave's baler's working good. Really no idea what I'm doing. I never grew up making small squares. Kind of a millennial. I started off with a chopper right away. But Dad kind of volunteered me for this, and I don't mind it too much. I've helped unload a couple loads of hay at my neighbors, and always thought it'd be kind of fun. I know there's a lot of old timers probably curse me for saying that, which I've never done it, so I really don't know. But we'll get this hooked up here. Just push it all up. Want it back in the winter or kind of rebale it?
Yeah, I'll probably rebale it with the rolling baler. I won't even mess around with it.
So that the fourth row is where you offset it a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, wagon number 2. So I was doing all right. Right at the end there, I was getting kind of screwed up on where to put them. But it should have worked. If anything, we're going to lose the 3 bales in front. The rest of it's pretty solid, I think. So, I'll shut the camera off for a while because I gotta get this thing. Alright, I'm almost out of battery, so I'll try to film a little bit at the end. Alright, we got that baled up, or what he wanted to get baled anyways. He only had 2 hay racks to fill up. So I think he said, I think the counter was at 169. No, 269. Should have been 270. I think there's, that last load was 1 bale short. I think there's 135 bales on a load. We only went 6 high. I think. Yeah, 3 to 6. I didn't do 7. That's what I probably should have done to say I did it, but I didn't go 10 high like some of you other guys probably do. I'm not very tall. But about once a year I get the how they used to make hay story back in the day, all summer long. Every day there's full hay racks in the yard. 10,000 bales a summer. Which I'm not saying I don't believe them. It's probably true. I'd like to hear some of your guys' hay making stories from back in the day. Maybe you still make hay that way. It's kind of, at least around here, I never grew up making small squares. As soon as I could drive a tractor, we were already chopping. We do some round baling, but never did much small squares where Dad and Dave and pretty much everyone that generation, that's what you guys grew up doing. I'd like to hear some of your stories, how many bales you made a summer, and it's kind of cool hearing them old stories. But that was alright. It's a good learning experience for me. Definitely not as tough as I thought I was. My forearms are pretty raw. Just a little irritated from something, but definitely guys should definitely wear some long sleeve until get a little more tolerant to it, but I'm not complaining. So, almost chores time here, so see what else there's to do. Oh, like Dave said too, he's like, yeah, back when he was farming more full-time, or back in high school, he'd bale them up, go to football practice, or unload them, go to football practice, come back, try to get another couple of bales in before night chores, and you guys had some tough days back then, I tell you what. And he didn't have a parlor milk, he had tie stall, and a lot more physical labor. That's why you guys are a lot tougher than everyone nowadays. All right, well, I'm gonna find the kiddos and get ready for supper and chores. So thanks for watching. See you later.